told you guys, today is going to be a very, very wonderful day. And I have guests with me today, given that today is International Youth Day. And our show today is hashtag UN75. So I'm not going to tell you guys who my guests are. They're going to introduce themselves so you can hear their wonderful voices. Can you guys please just speak into the mics and say hello to the people?
Thank you. Hello to the listeners. My name is Salvatore Nionzima. I'm the UN Resident Coordinator.
Hello to the listeners. First of all, a happy International Youth Day. And hello to everyone in the studio as well. I am Zuliti Matsuso. I'm part of the United Nations Youth Advisory Panel. Thank you.
Okay, that is just two of the team that I have today. We have a lady here with us, but she will introduce herself in a little bit. So I'm just going to do very, very quick introduction, and then we're just going to, relax a bit to get a track in here and pay some bills. But before we do go off, I just want to ask you guys just to quickly brief us very, very briefly on what the hashtag UN75 is for. I did kind of tell people, but I don't want to leave anything out. So if any one of you can take the floor and just let us know.
Thank you. Since you're looking at me, I'll do it. But before I do, I wanted to join Zuditini to say to the young Basutu a very happy International Youth Day. And it is no accident that we're coming here today. And I'm very grateful to be with the lady that you have not introduced, but she will introduce herself.
Sir.
And also Zwedi. The hashtag UN75 is very simple. This year, the United Nations will celebrate their 75th anniversary. And as part of that celebration, the management, the leadership of the UN has decided that this year, as we celebrate our 75th anniversary, we want to listen. We want to engage in a dialogue with people and listen to the people. So that is basically what it is, but it means a dialogue, as they say in English, it takes two to tango.
Yes, sir.
So, and a dialogue is, I speak, you listen, you speak, I listen.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, the UN wanted to take time and listen to the people, all of them, young and old, from classrooms to boardrooms to churches to stadiums maybe, all over. And so that is what is not so much hiding behind the hashtag UN75.
Okay, I love it. I love it because most of the time, actually, most of the things that we say is we're not being heard, as young people. And I am the self-proclaimed young person of the big time. So I guess I'm allowed to say us. But yeah, I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited. And for those of you who are listening to how you can essentially get involved in this, you can go to un75.online and take the very quick survey. I promise it won't take that long. I did it myself and it took less than 4 minutes. Thank you. That's how you can get involved. One of the ways you can get involved. Obviously, shows like this, you can tune in, you can send in your questions. They will answer everything that they can, but you go onto their site and there's some frequently asked questions there that you can kind of take a look at, and then you'll get quite the hang of what is what. So I'm going to take a quick ad break, and then when we come back we'll get into the nitty-gritty of today. Back 2 seconds. Okay, turns out I can't hear myself when I talk through my mask, but that's okay. So the time is 16 minutes after 6 o'clock here on The Big Time on Sky Alpha HD, and we are also live on Sky Alpha TV. What's up, pretty peoples? So be sure to tune in and see the wonderful guests that I have with me here today. So I have very excited question that was actually asked from me by a friend. What is this essay competition about? Like the writing competition.
All right, thank you. The essay competition, in a nutshell, is all about how you envision or how you picture your world to be in the next 25 years, and that
Okay.
being when the UN turns 100 years, or since it was founded in 1945.
Okay.
So that is the short narration of what the essay competition is all about. And there has been an encouragement that has been done by the Salvatore and many other partners for young people in particular to engage, in writing those essays to sort of provide the picture of the ideal world that they want by the year 2045 when the UN turns 100 years old. Yeah.
Okay, and just to clarify, because my team and I have been going back and forth trying to figure out what exactly the youth cutoff age is. Is it 35 or 38? Because we don't know anymore. At this point, I'm in the show with old people.
Well, according to the national youth policy that we have in this country and the African Youth Charter, but I think we should, rely on the national youth policy for now because it's our local document. It recognizes the youth age bracket being between the ages of 15 and 35.
Oh my gosh!
15 and 35, yes.
Woo! These are old people that I'm doing the show with. But it's okay. It's okay. We appreciate their wisdom. Okay. So I'm just going to ask you very quickly that when you put your mic down, just do it very gently because it provides. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get into a more serious question. Now, obviously, I don't think that there we go. I don't think the UN had anticipated the coronavirus when they decided to celebrate or rather get involved in these conversations. And I'm very glad actually that they continued with the conversations even with what's happening, because right now I feel like more and more people would want to talk and say something. So what have you guys found as the UN, or what are your biggest challenges this year particularly, given what you're trying to do as an organization and this huge global issue that is literally affecting every single country? What are the biggest hurdles that you've come across?
This is a difficult question, but I'll try to tackle it as to the best of my ability. COVID-19 is the great disruptor because it has disrupted everything, economies and societies and communities, and obviously when the Secretary General started the plans for the worldwide conversation around UN75, the COVID-19 was not there yet because it started last year. And therefore, it kind of challenges everything. It is also the great revealer. You have seen that the pandemic has laid bare all the inequalities and all the issues in education, in healthcare, in societies, inequalities, gender issues, you name them. So to some extent, the COVID-19 pandemic is actually reminding all of us, and how vividly, that we need more cooperation. We need to work closer together, because whether we like it or not, we're in this together. And so, as Secretary General Antonio Guterres says, no one is safe until everybody is safe.
Very true.
I've heard that in a nice song from African singers, and it is so true. No one is safe until everybody is safe. So that challenges us all the way from our development plans, our development strategies, all the way to even the UN75 itself, because we had planned to have dialogue events. For example, at this stage we should have had a number of them, having maybe a couple of hundred, maybe a couple of thousands people in the room, young people in particular, and discussing and having dialogue. But now we have to come up with alternative ways of doing the dialogues, like what we are doing. So a challenge it is, And now, what is even more interesting is we have to work to turn this challenge into an opportunity.
Okay. I dig that. Yep. Because as a young person, I'm going to keep mentioning this just to remind people that I'm a young person. A lot of us are noticing a lot more that the things we were kind of letting slide and kind of letting people get away with, they are very, very important issues. You know, I mean, for us as Lesotho, I know our biggest thing is obviously the health issue. Most times people would just say, you know what, it's fine. I'll just cross the border, go to a clinic in South Africa, and I'll be good. But you can't do that right now. So I think it's obviously, you know, kind of bringing to the surface the most critical issues. Now I have a question here, going back to the question about the essay. I forgot to read it. They're asking what the prizes are for the essay competition. Now I just want to clarify before you do answer that I don't think that prize or no prize, it shouldn't be, you know, a deciding factor, because at the end of the day, this kind of essay is meant to give an insight of what you plan to see, what you would like to see. So if there are any prizes, can you let us know so we can do the things that make the pots?
Well, although I may not have
Don't
Hindi.
forget our lady there.
Oh, okay. No, you don't know. Let's put a pin in that one.
Okay.
That will be hers. We will come back to it. I'm just going to read this one as well. It says, the novel coronavirus has made me realize that the internet is a basic need and data in Southern Africa is expensive, right? So Lesotho has had to close its educational system due to the pandemic because technologically we're far behind. So what is the UN's role in trying to make sure that everything and every single child has access to education during the pandemic, either online, offline, whatever measures are taken? What exactly is your guys' role, if any?
Thank you. In terms of education, one of the challenges has, of course, been all over the world that hundreds of millions, perhaps billions of children are out of school. And that is not good, because that would mean, if that was to last longer, that would mean a complete generation of people who would be very much affected.
So what is the UN doing? Let me bring it back to Lesotho. During the lockdown, UN agencies, and in this case I need to mention one in particular, UNICEF has been working with Ministry of Education and other relevant services to try and organize the continuity of education for young people, for the children of this nation. Online, offline, through the radio, etc., etc. So, but this is work in progress. It is work in progress because people are still exploring what are the most effective ways of making sure that the kids of this country and the kids of the world will continue to get education. We hear in the media a lot of debates and a lot of discussions. Some people are against a full opening of schools, others are all for it. But this is also an indication of the challenges that this is also bringing. Because you obviously have to remember that the basic principle is make sure that the education needs of the children are looked after without exposing them to COVID-19. And so it is a difficult, it's a difficult balance to strike. And yeah, so what we've been doing is exploring with different countries, and different countries are at different levels because they have different levels of resources. And in that question you mentioned internet, access to internet. And access to internet has actually also shown that there are people, there are haves and have-nots. And that is a problem. That is a problem. So those are divides that we need to work on. And as we hopefully recover from the pandemic, I think we need to rebuild in a way that will be more equal and taking into account all those needs that have been laid bare by the pandemic.